Hello, Yankees Nation. Welcome back to your go-to channel, New York Yankees News Network, where every swing, pitch, and dugout decision from the Bronx Bombers is brought straight to you with passion, precision, and pride. Today's episode is a heavy one, folks. We've got jam-packed updates that just surfaced a few hours ago, and they're not for the faint of heart. If you're a die-hard Yankees fan, and I know you are, you'll want to stick around for every second of this. From record-setting offensive droughts to unexpected lineup changes and a big-time injury update with postseason implications, it's all here. But before we dive in, a quick favor. If you're new to the channel or just haven't yet, make sure to like, subscribe, and smash that bell icon so you never miss a beat when it comes to our beloved Bronx Bombers. Now, let's jump into it. Update 1. Yankees offensive collapse hits rock bottom. Franchise history made, but not the good kind. The scoreboard tells the story, 0 runs again. For the third straight game, the New York Yankees were shut out, this time falling 4-0 to the Los Angeles Angels. It marks the third consecutive shutout loss, tying a dark chapter in franchise history and underscoring what can only be described as an offensive crisis. That's 29 consecutive scoreless innings, the worst stretch since September of 2016. Think about that. For nearly 3 full games, the Yankees haven't managed to bring a single run across the plate. And it's not just about the results, it's about the complete absence of urgency. Let's break it down. Will Warren, the rookie right-hander, gave everything he had. A career-high 11 strikeouts over 6 innings, mixing that electric four-seam fastball with incredible control. He carved through hitters, including Mike Trout, with whiffs and called strikes that would make any scout nod with approval. But still, no run support. Warren gave up 3 earned runs on 6 hits. But at least 1 or 2 of those run-scoring hits could have been classified as defensive errors. His effort deserved better. Instead, he walks away with the hard luck loss. Ian Hamilton added 1 more run allowed in the 8th, a groundout that scored a runner who had reached on a bloop single. But even that was almost irrelevant. The real problem, the Yankees' bats, or lack thereof. Cody Bellinger's first inning double, wasted. Jasson Domínguez reached base and even stole a bag. Nothing came of it. Giancarlo Stanton showed up again with a solid 2-for-4 performance, echoing his night before. But it ended there. The rest of the lineup? Completely silent, cold, lifeless. And it's not just a slump. It's an identity crisis. You expect ups and downs in a 162-game season. But this is a breakdown. We're seeing 8 or even 9 guys disappear offensively on a nightly basis. Even Aaron Judge, who's still elite with a weighted runs created plus over 230, has dropped 15 points in just 5 days. That's staggering. Here's what stings the most. The Yankees aren't just losing, they're not competing. Fans would rather see a 7-5 loss where the bats are swinging and the team is fighting then watch this slow-motion collapse where everyone looks lost. This isn't about bad luck or great pitching. This is a systemic freeze, a drought, and it's setting records we hoped would stay buried in the history books. So what's next? Tomorrow it's Ryan Yarbrough on the bump, and frankly, it might not matter. This team could have prime Pedro Martinez pitching and still lose if they can't score runs. The problem is not the mound, it's the men in the batter's box. And as the series finale nears, all eyes are on the lineup. Will Boone finally shake things up? Can the Bombers rediscover their bite before this slide becomes a full-blown tailspin? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, this offense has reached a crossroads. Update 2. Luke Weaver's comeback ignites hope in Yankees bullpen revival. Amidst the swirling storm of scoreless innings and mounting losses, there's a quiet flicker of hope glowing from the Yankees bullpen. And that light is Luke Weaver. On the same night that the Yankees offense once again vanished in a 4-0 shutout loss to the Angels, right-hander Luke Weaver took a huge step forward in his injury recovery. For a fan base desperate for something, anything, to be positive about, this is a headline worth paying attention to. Let's rewind for a second. Weaver strained his hamstring back on June 1st and has been sidelined since. But on Tuesday evening in the Bronx, he finally threw live batting practice, a critical milestone in his return. Against Oswald Peraza and J.C. Escara, Weaver let it rip for about 20 pitches, testing not just his arm but his legs, balance, adrenaline, and timing. And the verdict? It felt great, he said. And you could see it. The intensity, the rhythm, the snap on his pitches. His velocity was strong, the movement sharp, and the control tight. Weaver's focus wasn't just on throwing, but on syncing his body and mind. A marriage of mental and physical performance that elite pitchers understand better than anyone. It's about making sure the adrenaline matches the intensity, he said. If I'm trying to throw at 100% but my body's only at 90, that's a problem. This wasn't just an average bullpen tune-up. Weaver was locked in on the details. The glove side cutter, the changeup down and away, finishing sequences with the fastball. The kind of mental reps that show he's preparing not just to return, but to dominate. Here's the part that really matters to Yankees fans. Weaver's recovery is ahead of schedule. Originally pegged for a 4 to 6 week return window, he now says there's no lingering tightness, no soreness, and no setbacks. Every session has produced positive result, including low soreness and strong recovery. That's exactly what you want to hear from a reliever whose style depends on rhythm, tempo, and athleticism. Manager Aaron Boone was equally optimistic, calling the session excellent and saying that the team may be just days away from making a decision on activating Weaver. Let's not forget, before his injury, Luke Weaver was quietly putting together a lights-out season. Across 24 games and just over 25 innings, he held a jaw-dropping earned run average of 1.05, allowing only 3 earned runs and striking out 24 batters while giving up just 7 walks. In a bullpen that's been up and down lately, especially with arms being stretched thin due to the offense's inability to hold a lead, Weaver's return could be a game changer. Imagine having a reliable setup man who can bridge the gap to the ninth, or even a flexible reliever who can handle high-leverage innings when things start slipping. That's exactly the kind of support that can stabilize a pitching staff under pressure. And while the Yankees' offense is rightfully drawing concern, you can't forget how vital a fresh, healthy bullpen is during a stretch like this. Weaver's return isn't just about one arm coming back. It could mean fewer innings for overworked relievers, better matchups, and tighter control late in games. It's not flashy. It won't dominate headlines like a walk-off homer or a blockbuster trade. But make no mistake, Luke Weaver is coming back at the perfect time, and the impact could be much bigger than fans realize. Update 3. Boone shocks Yankees fans with bold lineup shuffle after crushing loss. The pressure is mounting, the bats are silent, and the once commanding division lead is shrinking. So what does Yankees manager Aaron Boone do? He flips the script. Just hours after the Yankees dropped their 4th consecutive game, including a brutal 1-0 walk-off loss in 11 innings, to the Los Angeles Angels, Boone made a bold and unexpected move. Jasson Domínguez, the 22-year-old switch-hitting outfielder, was placed in the leadoff spot for the first time this season. Now let's be clear. This was not just tinkering for the sake of change. This was a statement. Domínguez, who's hitting .236 with an on-base percentage of .324 and slugging .385, has shown flashes of brilliance and speed. But leading off? That's sacred territory. It sends a message that Boone is trying to shake this team out of its daze and inject new energy into the top of the order. Especially with the Yankees scoring just 5 runs in their last 5 games and being shut out in back-to-back nights. Something had to give. And Domínguez isn't alone. Boone followed him up with Aaron Judge in the 2-hole and Cody Bellinger batting third, forming a dynamic trio that combines youth, power, and experience. It's a major shift in the batting order hierarchy, one that fans and analysts didn't see coming. And that's exactly the kind of jolt this team needs right now. Here's some added context. The Yankees entered this game with the second best run differential in all of Major League Baseball at plus 102. That means, on paper, they're blowing teams out when they win. But these recent close losses reveal a glaring issue with clutch performance. Take Monday night, for example. They had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 11th, 1 out, game on the line, and couldn't push a single run across. That's more than just a slump. That's a mental block. So Boone responded the only way he could, by blowing up the script. This lineup change also carries strategic implications. Domínguez's speed at the top could disrupt pitchers early. Judge's power in the 2 spot means more first-inning damage, and putting Bellinger third adds a layer of protection that could force opponents to pitch to Judge instead of working around him. Meanwhile, the Angels, far from elite, are suddenly taking advantage of the Yankees' crisis. With Monday night's win, they narrowed the wild card gap and snagged their first victory over New York this season, cutting the overall series to 3 games to 1. And don't forget, the Yankees' once comfy 2.5-game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays in the American League East is now on shaky ground. And let's not sleep on the pitching matchup that followed. Will Warren, who entered with a 4-win, 3-loss record and an earned run average of 4.86, was tasked with squaring off against Kyle Hendricks, who had a 4-6 record with a 5.20 earned run average. That's not a mismatch. It's a coin toss. The real difference maker was going to be offense. And yet again, it didn't show up. But maybe, just maybe, Boone's message will echo deeper than the box score. Shuffling Domínguez into the leadoff role isn't just about analytics. It's about lighting a fire. About forcing this team to remember who they are. Because these next few weeks, they're not just critical, they're season-defining. So, there you have it, Yankees Nation. 3 powerful updates that tell the full story of where we stand today. A team on the edge of history, for better or worse. We've got a lineup searching for answers, a bullpen arm poised for a triumphant return, and a manager willing to roll the dice and take risks to revive a fallen giant. The road ahead is tough, but if there's one thing this franchise has always done, it's rise when counted out. If you made it this far, you're the real MVP. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you're always first in line for Yankees truth, straight from the Bronx. This is New York Yankees News Network signing off until the next update. Stay strong, stay loyal, and as always, let's go Yankees.